All right, Spark. Megan, take one.
I found out in 2009 that I carry the BRCA1 genetic mutation, which increases my risk in my lifetime of developing both breast and ovarian cancer. I kind of always suspected it, but it did not take away the sting of the pain that it brought with it. I just didn't want to be in a place where I was putting my family and my children in a position where they would have to lose me. I got married at the age of 23. By 24, I was pregnant with my daughter, who is now 8 years old. And I just developed this mentality that I didn't need to go to the gym anymore. That's not what pregnant women did. And also, I was so sick during my first trimester that I would basically eat whatever I could keep down. And it just grew into this bad habit. When my husband and I knew we were gonna have another child and we started trying, I told my husband verbally, like, it doesn't matter if I get healthy and get in shape right now because we're just gonna have another kid and I'm gonna wait until after that happens to change my lifestyle. And I totally used it as an excuse. When my second baby came, I noticed that I was asking my older daughter to go grab me things throughout the house. Go grab me a diaper. Can you go grab me his pacifier or a blanket? For me to go do those things, I probably would have been out of breath and I would have inconvenienced myself. It was not my 3.5-year-old daughter's job to do things for me. It was my job to provide for her. My younger sister actually came to visit and stay with me for about a week. She looked around my kitchen and all she saw was like literally 20 boxes of cereal, whole milk, super sugary yogurts, and chip after chip bag after chip bag. She looked at me and she said, "What are you doing? Do you realize what you're putting into your body?" It hurt at first. I was like, who are you to comment on what I eat? Like, you have no say in what I do with my body. But then I started seeing like living example in my daily life of how my food choices were affecting everything that I did. So after the birth of my second child, which was my son, I had basically taken inventory of all the damage that I had essentially done. I wasn't happy with what I saw. It was hard to love my body at the time, but I had what I felt were bigger things to start focusing on. My grandma died of ovarian cancer, and I had an aunt who got breast cancer at age 37, and she still survives today. I found out in 2009 that I carry the BRCA1 genetic mutation. I had tons of MRIs and ultrasounds, and I did have a suspicious spot on one of my breasts that was concerning. I just decided with the support of my husband that I was going to do a preventative bilateral mastectomy with reconstruction. The surgery itself lasted 5.5 hours. During the procedure, they were removing healthy breast tissue down to my sternum, putting in place tissue expanders, which essentially it's as if you were wearing a coconut shell under your skin. It was the most pain I have ever been in my life when I woke up. I couldn't lift my arm above my waist, like I could barely lift my wrist. I had no strength in my chest. My muscles were cut, so I couldn't wash my hair. I couldn't brush my teeth. I couldn't touch my hair, put it up in a ponytail. I had to take a shower, and my husband had to help me. He had to do everything for me. I had imagined what it would be like when I looked at myself for the first time, and I imagined looking at a flat chest. Got my shower, looked in the mirror. I had a concave chest. It dipped inward. All that I could see was my stomach, and it was highlighting my number one insecurity, and not just my insecurity, but now a newfound insecurity that I had no breasts. I wondered if my husband would still love me. Like, he was standing right beside me over my shoulder, and I felt so ashamed of what I looked like. And I just grew more depressed. After all my breast surgeries were done, it was time for me to focus on more surgeries that I knew were looming. For me to remove my ovaries meant that I would be in surgical menopause and hopefully not get ovarian cancer, but exchange it for taking on this whole host of other problems that I would be facing. It was this private pain that I was suffering and depressed over because I knew that my whole lifestyle would change. I read online so many negative stories about women going into surgical menopause, and I got so fed up with all of the findings on the internet. It drove me to want to change everything about my life and focus on only the positive. It helped me to realize that I need to be there for my children. So I first learned about nutrition and training when I was recovering from my surgery, and I was browsing the internet. I stumbled across Bodybuilding.com. I don't even know what I searched, but Jamie Eason's Live Fit Trainer came up. I made the decision that I was gonna finish, that I wasn't gonna quit, and I knew that I would not be happy with myself if I gave up. And so it was all very overwhelming to me when I first started trying to lift weights. I didn't want to seem like I had no clue what I was doing, which was the truth. I had zero clue what I was doing. And there were mostly men that worked out in my gym. A lot of them always felt the need to come up and tell me how to change my form and that I wasn't doing something right and that I should try it this way. So I was a little uncomfortable, but I kept at it. I was seeing results, and I was floored that in 12 weeks I lost 15 pounds, and I really felt like I learned so much about how to be the person that you want to be and the person that you always dreamed of but never thought you could be. I decided that I needed something to focus on other than just a fitness program. And I decided that I was going to compete in a NPC bikini fitness competition. I only ever wanted to do one fitness competition just to check it off my bucket list. And I am so proud of myself for accomplishing that. I never, ever would have dreamed of that if I went back to that woman in the bathroom that day. I never would have dreamed that I was capable of doing everything that I did. I am so glad to have experienced both ends of my highs and my lows, because without each of them, my story would not be what it is today. It really took going through these surgeries and finding fitness to realize that I need to love myself for who I am. And whatever that may be physically, we're given one life to live. And if you're not living the life that you want to live right now, you need to make some changes. I learned that you have to believe in yourself above all else, because nobody else is going to believe in you. By having a positive outlook on situations, it really just opens up so many doors for you that you didn't even know were possible. In turn, I think it makes you a way better person by having an open mind and challenging yourself and pushing yourself that extra step is something that at the end will just amount to this huge accomplishment, and you will be so grateful and it will be so rewarding.
Over 45 fitness plans, daily workouts, results for life. Sign up today.